Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ace's Legacy. I'm Paul, and of course, across from me, I've got.
Hey, folks, I'm Jesse K. I hope you just saw me, but it's good to see you again.
Okay, we got a new face in the studio with us tonight. It's one of our regular volunteers with the Fox Network, and that is Scott Albert.
Oh, hello. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
And for those who have not watched recently, Joe has been a regular on our Battlecom Unity show. He's been on a few streams as well. I'd like to welcome Joe back.
They let me back in the studio, which was probably a mistake on their part, but I'm very appreciative for it.
So, hope you guys all enjoyed the latest Mechnificent 7 episode. It got a little zany there.
I feel like I need to take a shower.
Yeah.
The important thing that we saw as brand ambassadors, we wanted to make sure that Battletech was accurately represented, both to the audience and to Catalyst Game Labs creative director Randall Bills joining us in the studio, playing the role as Jabal Arizad. And I think we did that. I think we succeeded
We did.
at that.
Jabal turns out to be the pacifist of the group after 4 episodes.
He just nicely fights.
He nicely
fights people.
So what we're going to do tonight is similar to last week when we did Nero Drago's tournament round before he joined the Mech 7. We are going to do everybody's favorite now, Kratison's
Her qualifying round
to get into the Mechnificent 7. So I will show you guys. We got kind of a new thing. So we got a lot of comments about, people want to do camera angles and et cetera, et cetera. So, of course, we've gone out of our way to achieve that. So I am going to show you guys some of the new stuff. As you can see, this new screen layout we got here for the chat, which is kind of cool. You got all our events down below, as you can see them here. What we do week in and week out, the events we're going to be going to. Again, obviously, so we don't have to keep saying like and subscribe. We have that popping up on the screen as well. Okay, so
please like and subscribe.
We will
do it. Yeah, everyone like
we
and
will.
subscribe.
We'll start off with our first angle when we go to this, and it'll be our typical overhead that everybody is used. Everybody is used to seeing the overhead camera. Okay, so that's our overhead. Now we have added some new angles. So here's angle 2, which is kind of like a 3/4 table down view. You can see, get a good idea. You got Scott's head in the shot, but yeah, you get a good idea from the screen.
Yeah.
And then we go to camera angle 4, which is kind of similar to this.
It's better.
There we go. Coming over, it's a little bit lower down, gets you a little bit better detail. And then my hands are in the screen there. And then, of course, this is my favorite one. This one we'll probably be using the most. This is camera angle 3. This one's pretty cool. So you guys are going to like this one. It's nice zoomed in there. You get a good shot of the game action. We'll leave most of the game on that. When we go to the movement phase, we'll either pop back up to the overhead or we will go to the 3/4 view, which is this one here. Okay, so that said, tonight I'll kick this back over here to Scott and I. Tonight what we're going to do is we are going to go 3 aces decks controlling the opponent for Kratison. Kratison is going to be controlled by our game master, Jesse K. And we will see how the results of this pan out. You got anything to add to that, Jess?
Not too much to add. As always, this is considered a little bit of supplementary extra Mech 7 info for those of you who are looking for it to know more about the world. There was a question in chat we saw in game chat where people wanted to learn more about the characters. Some of that, well, a lot of it will be posted at the conclusion of the season, but regular subscribers to the Focht Network Facebook page and Focht Network Instagram have probably already seen some of that extra info got dropped there. So if you haven't signed up to those already, head over that way, join, like, subscribe, whatever, oath, whatever it is for young people on social media, you can find more Mech 7 stuff there.
Awesome. Okay, so what is everybody piloting tonight? We'll start with Kratison. Everybody knows what Kratison.
Kratison, as you saw, she's in her Scorpion, the SCP-10. Not the fanciest, flakiest one, but a pretty solid one. 221, 4 points of armor and 5 of structure. It's a tank. It's a dining room table. It's everything you want from the quad. I will be representing Kratison in her hopefully victorious role.
Joe, what do you got going on over there, buddy?
I called dibs on the Ostsoul 8E, which is probably the by raw design scariest mech on this table. It's just a 330, but for a heavy mech, it's moving 10 inches. It's getting a TMM of 2, and it does have an overheat. but that XL engine, once the armor's cracked, it's going to disappear pretty quick.
Scott, what we got?
Mine's also very scary. It's a close second very scary one on the table. It's a crab. It's crab 20. It's optimized for short range. It's got 5 armor and 4 structure, and it's going to be run by the skirmisher deck here. I'm very excited.
Okay, and last but not least, myself, I will be piloting a Centurion CN9A, a 2-3-1 profile with 5 armor and 4 internal structure. We're not using special characters this week for the opponents. We're just going to go straight up skill 4s because we're trying to give the Scorpion up.
These ones are skill 5.
Skill 5,
this
sorry.
One's the rookie league.
The rookie league to give Kratos and Scorpion a bit of a fighting chance here.
Well,
So
Nero was a skill 3 pilot in the show, so like that was considered a more veterans thing.
Yes.
Both Kratos and Vera are both very fresh mech warriors. They're both new to it, so they're coming in from sort of a lower league, but also lower paycheck for Lin 6. So.
perfect. All right, well, let's go to initiative. I'll go to the overhead for the dice rolls, and
Away we go.
away we go. I'm gonna roll purple dice.
Yeah, I think black and red
the
are pretty
Centurion.
appropriate for Kratos.
I've got an 11,
Wow.
and I move my
6.
dice tray back into the view.
Also 11.
Oh.
No,
9.
again.
I got to roll off here. This is-
Somehow I ended up in third with a 9.
I got a 7.
6.
6? Okay, so the Centurion is moving last.
And Kratos is second last.
Okay.
So
I'm
then
going first.
Yep.
Going first?
Yeah. Do we have a commander deck?
Oh, yes.
we do.
Sorry. I will grab a commander deck.
Hey there, Bezkar in the chat. Hey there, Justice, TikTok Battletech. Justice, old friend of the show. If you folks haven't checked out TikTok Battletech
This
yet,
will be your command
be
deck.
sure to check that out. He's doing some cool stuff.
I'm a
Of
star
course,
captain.
Beskar has indeed figured out the Scorpion needs all the help it can
That'll
get.
be for you.
Absolutely.
Oh, and hey, Lorcan, always good to see you too.
Lorcan, how you doing, buddy? Let me see. There we go.
So my crab is going to be in cautious behavior. It wants to jump, which you can't do. Line of sight to at least one activated enemy, which you can't do. Close to target. Occupy woods. Cover versus most. So we're gonna go. We're gonna scoot over here. I think I got 10 inches, so that's plenty to scoot. Watch this scoot. Scoot. Sorry, that's the model making that sound. I don't know why it does that. I'm gonna put a 2 down, and that's the Krabby Crab doing Krabby Crab stuff.
There we go.
Okay, so then the Ostsoul.
Yeah, the Ostsoul has been given. Actually, I've got
there
one.
we
No worries about that.
He doesn't want your tape
It is
measure.
staying on aggressive because if unit has armor in excess of any enemy's highest damage rating, I don't think anybody's throwing 7 dice.
No.
So I'm actually free and clear to remain on aggressive, which means it wants the a target activated red within either 10 or 20 inches. There is only one activated red, but it's looking for the lowest TMM, which means it just wants eyes on that crab.
That's correct.
So movement closer to target in the least number of activated enemies, and with the cover versus most. So with a movement of 10, I have to get all the way down.
Yeah.
Without jump jets, that's
get
gonna be interesting.
you have to.
How low
step
can you
down.
go?
Well, how low can I go? I would
Yes.
say that this is you can descend what? Maximum of 2 inches,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
which is
Yeah, you're gonna have to get up to the end.
I'm gonna
of
have to
this,
go all the way
down to
down?
there. Yep.
so it's a tall order to get out of the most line of sights. I think, given I don't have the move to get all the way down, we are just gonna stand front and center.
Ostsoul's the biggest, baddest mech on the field.
Yep.
Also got the most penalized starting position.
Which is probably intentional.
It was.
All right.
Aggressive.
I feel gimped, but you know what? I'll take it.
Kratos.
Kratos. See, this is now so there's 3 aces deck and Jesse playing Battletech. Can he beat the aces deck at Alpha Strike? Not always.
We'll see.
Kratos
see.
doesn't
We'll
want.
go over. Oh, that's the one we wanted right there.
Yeah,
Right
Kratos
there.
doesn't want any part of that Ostsoul. If she is moving, I think she's short enough that if she's there, that's plenty of cover from what he's throwing.
Oh yeah.
Little worried about the crab.
You should be.
Yeah, I should be. But there's a couple of things of cover and trees, so I think we'll take that. I don't think the Centurion will get out far enough to hit her.
That is a 9A. That thing is fast. That is the faster Centurion, and I really like it.
But I still don't think she has any option, but that wouldn't disqualify her by leaving the
Yeah.
field. Yeah, so
Yep.
she's going to take that as the cover.
Everybody out here is a 2, right?
and hope for it. I believe so, yes.
Yes. All right. So aggressive. If the ideal red enemy is activated within 10. So we're going to red. Red would be lowest TMM. Everybody's a 2. So then we're going to go to the highest PV, which would be the Ostel. This is going to be close.
Yeah, actually, so Beskar did point out, Kratos and the murder hobo.
The murder
do
hobo.
we want tonight to be a bit of payback for what we just had to witness?
Well, to be fair, Kratos as a protagonist has some edge abilities, which we'll discuss when we get there. Kratos might be hitting a little harder than you'd expect, which I think suits her character very well. But we will see where that goes.
Ace's deck wants to still key on the Ostel, wants to stay out of as many line of sights as possible while moving closer to the Ostel. So I believe this is going to be moving at 8. If I go here...
A 9A? You're moving at 12.
You guys rubbed it out. No, it's 8.
Okay.
Yep. So if he gets...
sometimes plays his
that's
own
the
Battletech.
sorry. That's the 9D. I'm remembering
If it comes
the
to
memory
here-
core upgrade.
Oh, yeah, no,
That's what I'm
different.
confusing myself with. So then it has TMM 1.
Yeah,
Right?
so that's 8. Yeah, I am TMM1.
Okay.
So here, I got blocked the line of sight to the crab. Kratos can't see. I'm out of your line of sight and in your rear arc, but not for the additional die. Okay.
Wow.
Paul's making us all dizzy. Yeah, stream dancing will do that.
And there you get a good shot of it there. The
Oh,
Centurion.
I love having these new angles. This is
the Centurion
fantastic.
behind the Ostel
You see
with
Jim
the...
Kratos poking out over here. Yeah.
all right, so Low
Yeah, that's me.
is going to be firing
Oh.
first.
That's we're by the cards, right?
Well, the
Or
card,
by
we're
initiative.
each one individual card, so
Right. By initiative is me.
by initiative.
So it wants to shoot at the lowest TMM, which is over here. I'm going to say Timmy till people stop
I don't
me.
think it can see.
Can't see that target.
It's just me.
So it's going to go after... Oh, that's the only shot?
Yeah, Osel
Okay,
versus
here
all
we go.
comers.
Yep.
So, range, medium...
Although I believe you do have line of sight on Kratos, but it is a
It's
harder
heavily
shot.
impaired shot.
Yeah, it's an impaired shot, but you can still do it.
I'm
But
going
you
to go
should-
on the Ostel.
Oh, well, you should consult the
So
card.
back- there you go.
The card is ambiguous, for sure.
What does it say?
Well, you go down to number 3 is blue command list. So blue is objective,
Yeah,
highest
second.
movement.
So the highest movement is tied because everybody's at 2.
Yeah.
And then what's
Lowest
next?
structure.
Lowest structure. So the lowest structure unit on the board is...
Is that
Is-
an
it
XL
is
engine?
also- yeah.
Ostel's only
However,
got 3
is that
structure.
Scorpion moving 12?
It is.
Do you only
That
have
has
one
higher movement.
But do you only have one line of sight, or do you have 2 lines of sight?
2.
Then you're going to fire at the lowest structure. That's what it goes by.
That's okay.
Yep.
That's
It'll
all
be,
good.
it'll be the lowest structure.
So it's medium, so I get 2. And I'm
You're gonna be
at
at
4 and 6.
5. Remember, we're still 5s.
Yeah. So you're at 5,
Oh,
7,
sorry, 7.
9s.
9.
Yep.
Big miss.
Big
Alright.
miss. Okay.
So then I'm gonna return fire. We're gonna go right back to the Osel. Now I only have the one target, which is the crab.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be same numbers. So we're looking for 9s. That is 1 9. We got one nice hit into the crab.
Oof. Ouch.
It's a beautiful light show.
Ping.
I am the disco ball in this.
You
in
are
this
the
dance
disco
club.
ball. You're the disco ball of
Kratos
all of
has
our
no
hearts.
line of sight to anything.
Nope.
Well,
so
the crab.
we are
I
going
think it's too short. Level 1.
Oh, okay.
Right?
the Centurion. Centurion, whatever can shoot in the back.
So hi there.
It's firing over at the Ostel. I am at short range, so we are going to be on 2 dice. Should have been stayed at medium. Yeah. So 2 sets of dice. We'll roll the purples. We're going to be at base 5. You went for 2 is 7. My target number has to be 5 to overheat, so there will be no OV. He can't overheat anyways. So pair of these on 7s. And that is an 8 and an 8. So
Hey.
2 shots.
All right.
Damn.
These are safe to touch the cards,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My favorite on the Aces cards is like, can you shoot someone in the back? Do that. Like that's strategic decision making at its finest.
Absolutely.
And that would be the turn. We're going to go to initiative.
All right.
Well, maybe I'll do better this time.
I'm not throwing
Maybe?
3 dice for initiative. What am I
Maybe.
doing?
I'm rolling Robotech dice. Is that why I'm losing?
I'll use the brown dice.
3.
I got snake eyes.
Wow.
9.
8.
Wow.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
So
Yeah, for you.
Osol goes second last, and our protagonist goes
So we're
last.
gonna check the.
All right, the Centurion. We are going to be on aggressive. Nothing is activated, so we're going to go to balance. If there are any enemies within 30, correct. So you're going to remain on. Wants line of sight to yellow. Yellow being the lowest TMM, which is a tie. We're going to the highest starting armor.
So only 4 over here.
Highest starting would be 7.
So looking at the hostile sill, it wants line of sight to the target. There's no allies on the board. It wants to stay, move closer to the target if possible. It wants cover from everybody else. So that is going to be a little tricky here. What are we going to do here?
Well, I mean, you know the Osel has no choice but to step down.
It's a step down.
Yeah, it's
right?
going to be. It's 4 inches to the floor down.
Yeah.
The Osel can't risk
And what's it
turning
move?
around.
What's
10
his-
inches.
10, so he's got 6 to move
It's
after that,
basically
right?
6 off of here, anywhere along here, probably.
So my
This is fun for pointing.
idea will be he's going to move.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit chummy to
No, it's
stay
good,
within
it's
view.
good, right? We can do like a buddy
We
cop.
we look like a buddy cop trading card.
Yeah.
You know, with the
You gotta do the
alignment.
give me crush
He's
your
got to
arms.
maintain line of sight,
There you
so
go.
that's
Nice.
about as good as he's going to be able to get. Right there. That'll give him line of sight, so you guys can see it from the other angle
right.
there. He's moved closer and has to keep that strut in the way
Yeah.
from the crab, right? Which I believe I've done there.
Looks like it to me.
All right.
Good positioning.
All right,
Okay,
crab.
so it's Krabby Crab time, everyone. Get ready.
Crab
he moves
people.
10. He wants to see if he can move behind the nearest activated enemy, which, again, very intelligent strategic move. The nearest activated enemy is there, cannot move behind it. If there are no unactivated enemies in 16 inches,
Not true.
not true, there are. So once again, I'm very, very cautious. I'm a very, very cautious crab. I want to go after the nearest, which is going to be that
Critison?
one. Line of sight on target, cover versus most enemies. I want to be 18 inches away. I want to occupy woods. That's my thinking. Everyone can see that. That's my thinking hand.
That's his thinking hand.
But how am I going to occupy woods?
occupy woods and be
It's gonna
18
be
inches.
tricky.
Yeah, in this arena, very tough.
That's right, Justice. We're looking at 6 total cameras.
The shooting someone in the back card should be act like a Davian because you can never trust a Davian ceasefire. Beskar, you can't take unnecessary shots. That was a shot in the back at Jesse.
I mean, which we Davians have to put up
You
with
have to stay
all the time.
inside the arena.
From
Inside here?
Capellans,
Yeah,
from
inside the arena,
rats,
yeah.
from periphery rats. Always the unfounded
That
accusation.
18
was the
inches
Clanners,
away
and
is-
you can't prove it.
Here, so
They're both from the periphery, so it both counts.
can't be in line of sight.
Hey, thanks, Karamindy. We appreciate the support.
I'm going to be aggressive
Difficult
here.
choices.
Is it? Are we counting these as
Rough,
rubble?
rough
Yeah,
terrain, yeah.
So they're an extra 1.
Yep.
So I'm going to be about here. And
Yep.
that's kind of the best I think I can do. Boom, spiked.
All right. Well, I, too, am actually, it's the same command as before. None of you have enough damage to crack through 5 armor in a single shot, so I'm remaining on aggressive. It wants to be the nearest activated blue, which actually is the highest TMM with the lowest structure. So the highest TMM of things that have moved right now, I'm actually chasing the crab. Cover closer to target. Target has no cover. Cover versus the most number of enemies. So I'm going down here.
Well, Beskar, Hashiks aren't Davians.
And
you know that.
making
we all
making
know
sure the
that.
Centurion can't get a line of sight on me, I'm going to head over here and got eyes on that crab. So I'm going to go here. No line of sight here.
That's correct.
All right, so we'll go with that, and that'll be the Ostsol's move.
And just for those of you, if you're wondering there, you can see the line of sight is blocked by the strut
Yep.
right there.
And actually, if you wanted to see what those struts look like, you can get a different angle and see the sort of highway look we got going.
Yep.
There's a nice, you can see it right there. I love these camera angles, man. It's so much better. We could show off these boards.
You gotta stay inside the stadium.
Yeah, so but right there is still technically inside the stadium.
Yes, it is.
It's got full cover from the Ostsole, I believe, and it gets me behind this crab. Yeah, see, the bleachers are like if it was a tall mech, she'd be in trouble. But here's the advantage of
she's got to pay 4 to go through that
Yeah,
rubble.
she's got 12 moves.
Now I would say that's shifty and underhanded. However, given what we just saw, that's in character.
Craytonson's gonna just tuck in nice and safe back there and point that big old gun right up that crab.
Is it because I'm red?
Yes.
Yes.
That is because you're cooked.
Crab joke.
Boy.
It is a crab joke. I'm really hungry.
All right, Centurion firing first. And you're shooting the back. I don't think the Centurion can. Well,
I deliberately moved accordingly to make sure that it didn't have.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving you over a little bit. Okay, so I don't think I have a shot at anywhere. No, I don't. So Centurion is done for the turn.
Okay.
So I'm looking to shoot someone who attacked by an ally this turn, and I'm a loner. I don't have any allies. Most structure loss, most armor loss. No one's lost anything.
That's not true, actually. I've taken armor hits. You're shooting. I mean, I'm also your only target. So go.
Yes.
So we are at.
You're at medium range. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you're going to be at base 5, 7, 9,
Cover
10s. 10s, yeah.
10.
Yep.
For 2 shots at 10.
Yeah.
Here we go, everyone. No.
No?
No, not even remotely close.
No dice.
Well, I can return fire, looking for exactly the same numbers. Looking for 10s.
That's a
How
lot.
does 2 of them strike you? Now, how are we handling
Well, it strikes
crits?
me pretty
How are we
solidly.
handling crits today?
you can take a crit.
All right, so then that's 2 hits with a through armor critical.
Awesome. Good to see you again, Andrew. Answer your question. The Scouring Sands Battletech Aces box comes with a supplementary rules pack that is designed to build on the basic Alpha Strike quick rules. So you don't necessarily need Commander's Edition to play with Aces, but you will want that Alpha Strike box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a weapon hit on the crab.
Oh,
so
no.
you're now throwing 1s.
Oh, Kratos still has to shoot.
Yep, Kratos now has to shoot, and that's going to be nasty for the crab. Skill of 4, 5, 6, short range, throwing 3 sets of dice because she's in the back, looking for 6s. The Capellan backstab. A crit and a hit. So sorry, 2 hits and then a crit.
Wow, you're just getting smoked
Yeah,
here.
I really
this was
am.
me
I'm not
last
even-
week. I
This
took
is
it.
my first time, guys.
The other
took it pretty bad
upgrade we
last
made
week.
to the studio is the trap
That was 3
door
total, right?
beneath all of
2
our
hits, but
seats.
this
Yes.
wasn't crit.
And a plus.
So we can get rid of him after we've killed his mech.
To clarify, Justice, yes, Commander's Edition is a great book, but it is not required to play Battletech Aces. The crit on the crab, the second crit. Oh!
No. And the trap door has malfunctioned.
What did I miss the crit? Was it a box
Boxcar.
Oh,
Wow.
just gone.
Kratos treats that red crab like she treats a red paint.
Ouch. That was harsh.
And that is turn.
Kaboom. And that is the end of the turn. Kratoson doing Kratoson things.
Yep.
Wow.
Watch episode 1 when the folks were watching like the review of this battle, and you can see where Lin 6 started to take an interest. It was right here, right at this moment.
And of course, we gotta say that this kills the crab.
Yeah.
Which
Scott is now here for moral support.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I guess,
Get out.
Have a
Scott
great
is
game.
walking
and,
home.
Yeah. So this doesn't really count as my first time, right?
No.
So this is like
Mulligan.
yeah.
All right, we're going to go to initiative.
All right.
Yep. Oh, I burned a lot of karma.
I got a whopping 5.
Kratoson is at 8.
9.
Oh, I'm going first
okay.
again. All right, so what does the
you
deck
gonna do?
want me to do here? It's not what I want to do. It's what the cards are going to tell me to do. There's no activated unit, so I'm not come on being aggressive. We're going to go to balanced. Balanced, again, is requiring an activated unit. So the Centurion, after seeing the crab, or hearing the crab, he can't see the crab, hearing the crab, decides he's going to be cautious. Would like to occupy woods. Zoning in on the, sorry, if I'll go back to the zone, nearest unit, so it'll be the Ostel. It would like to see the target occupying woods or cover. It wants to try to get 18 away from the Ostel and wants cover from as many other enemies as possible. So
this is really a game
this
about
is
keeping your
gonna be,
distance. Take it from me.
Yeah, so I only
Worked out
move
for me.
8.
I'm a very sore winner today. I apologize.
Please.
Can't get through there. 18. I can't quite get 18 away. I can only get 14 away. I can't get over here.
Kevin, the Aces release date is tentatively, they're hoping to start releasing it at Gen Con at the start of August and have it available for retailers in the fall. Now, that comes with a huge caveat that depends on a lot of global economic situations that may or may not complicate that release, but that is the hope for the moment.
And that will be the move there. Cover, can't see, behind, as far away as you can get. And, yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, Kratos up next. Good heavens, Beskar. I thought we could be friends. Kratos, that also moves so much.
He is currently, if I remember correctly,
Where is
playing
Kratos?
as a
There's
Capellan.
Kratos.
So we
Yep.
can disregard the hat and the shirt and the demeanor for a minute.
Yeah, I think
You can try.
Kratos is just going to jog back into cover. Yeah, because that Ostel's nasty and she's worried about it. She can get back that way. And just, if it wants to come around and face her, it's going to do so at point blank front range.
Yeah, let's see.
It's been quite a long road before release, prior to release, Kevin. But yeah, we're on the cusp. I'm very excited. All right, and speaking of excitement, it is my turn. So I'm going to remain on aggressive because the ideal blue has indeed moved. Can the unit move within 6 inches of it? Well, the ideal, no, it cannot because it is
what's the ideal blue?
the thing with the highest TMM. So unless I can move within 10 inches,
You can.
which would be 2 to here and then 8.
Yeah, you can get within 10.
I
Yeah.
can get within 10.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right, then I will remain aggressive. It wants the ideal blue that is within, sorry, the blue target that is within 12 inches. So despite the fact that it queued to aggressive to get over there,
You're within 12.
I am currently within 12.
Yeah, you're at 11.
All right, so then it is going after the scorpion. So we're going to go this way. It wants cover versus the greatest number of enemies, so it's
Look
heading
up behind
right
that
over
tree.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Careful.
it doesn't necessarily require.
No. It wants. It's going after Kratos, right?
Yeah, and it wants cover versus the Centurion.
Cover versus the Centurion.
Yeah, cover versus the greatest number of enemies in the least
All
number of
skeptical.
enemies line of sight.
Ian, now, is there a way you can get cover from both of these at once?
Yes,
is what I'm
that's-
thinking.
I'm just from what I'm able to see right now. I don't think so.
Hold on. Yes, you can. Back here.
Back there?
I believe so. You move. You move what?
Well, I do want to move closer to the target, and this would be further away.
That's further away. Can you get into? Can you get here?
Nope.
Here.
Only 10-inch move. I mean, maybe a little.
2, 8. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You can't see her though.
Does your card require line of sight as a priority?
Does it say target?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
So
that's
8
the-
would get you there. That would meet the cover requirements.
What's the #1 priority?
That the target has no cover. So it could be
Yeah.
turning
So-
around and going
So
after that.
even
But
if it was there,
Yeah.
it couldn't do that.
yeah,
I
it
think that's
I
the move.
believe it wants to go here because
Yes,
this is the
that
widest
would give
angle
it-
shot.
that would give it-
gives cover
yes.
from the
100%.
We'll go like this. It gives cover from the
Yep.
Centurion. It will go like that.
100%. 100%.
So we'll put a movement token down, and we will.
It's going to be an ugly volley.
It is.
So the Centurion, whatever going to shoot in the back, no. Lowest TMM, they're both tied. I only have line of sight to 1 unit, so it's kind of wasting time. I am at base 5. Medium
For
range
whatever
is
reason, Jesse's
7.
mic is kind of quiet.
Medium range is 7.
Is anyone else? Oh, well, I'll wait for Paul.
Yeah.
And then you went for a 2 is 9, and 1 for the trees is 10s. And I get 3 dice at medium range. I am going to roll Linvander colors here now.
Ooh,
Because
serious.
I need
You need a win.
10s, and I'm gonna get 3 of them here. This is my call. I'll go to
Do
the
it.
overhead, so you guys can see my dice roll. It's a
see a
whole
lot
lot
of
of
numbers I
nothing.
don't
I
wanna
see.
see.
I see 7, 8, 9. is
From
what
my
I see.
angle, I see only 5s and 6s. So I got very scared.
It's 7, 8, and 9.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Oof.
To the bad guys.
Yeah, Kratos, is gonna shoot at that Ostsoul.
Yep. She does it so well.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for mediums. She's throwing 2 at medium. Doesn't have any. Well, let's see what happens. Let's roll first. That's 1 hit.
That's 1 hit. All right.
Bing.
Any surprises
No
from our named character here?
No surprises.
All right. So then the
It was the cheap shot.
I should have flipped this over. All right. So blue on the command list. It's still wanting to shoot the target it chased. So we're gonna throw 3 dice, looking for 9s because of the difference in skill. How does 3 hits? How does 3 hits and theoretically 2 armor critical?
Only
but
one
only
actual
one ever
crit,
count.
but
Yeah.
a couple of pairs of
That
bucks
is a
go.
hot roll.
How's that feel?
Youch.
How's that feel?
Feels
Yeah.
good. So 3 hits in on the Scorpion. And oh yes, I
Hey,
get to
roll
roll
your
my
critical.
armor. Now, is there a way to counteract this to prevent this?
There.
Edge abilities?
No, you can add a pip.
I can add a pip, but I
Oh,
can't.
we are on turn 3.
Got it. All right. Well, that is a weapon hit.
Okay.
So this to a Scorpion, which is brutal.
Oof. It's rough.
God, winning feels good today. I don't know.
Winning
You
field.
know what? It's karma. We're bringing down the hammer of justice for this poor retail murderer.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at that
Todd,
smile.
Todd
Look at
Marvin.
that smile. Look at that.
Good evening.
Feels good. Feels good.
Jim Marvin piloting the Ostsoul.
I don't get that reference.
I'm just here to laugh at jokes now.
All right, initiative, people.
right.
Initiative. I'm going to roll 1 of each.
What you got?
6.
8.
8.
All right. Roll off.
You beat me.
10.
You beat me.
All right.
Kratos has to move first. This is not good. This is not good, folks.
You're not that bad. Well, I guess, yeah, you got 2 weapon hits or 1?
It's
Oh, no,
a-
you got the 2 crits. That's what it is.
Yeah, you got the 2 great was wiped
I got
out.
He's
Beat
not,
all of the
he's,
crits.
he's non-existent, unfortunately. This was one of those Solaris gladiators dying in the arena thing.
We should send Scott for coffee.
I just
All right.
drink it all.
What I'm thinking is if Kratos runs back this way, the only way the Ostsoul can pursue her is by exposing himself to the Centurion from behind.
Is it still in the arena?
And, that's the edge.
Ah, okay.
But I don't think
love
that
it.
will save her. So maybe the smarter move is just
Actually, wait a second. You go first. I rolled Snake Eyes against him in the roll-off.
Yeah. So maybe the smarter move is to spend a little extra jazz and move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 of my edges abilities this turn, which you will see in the full set of aces. I'm going to use Kratos' Mad Dash and her Nimble.
She's scared.
She's scared, yeah.
Should be.
She's going to spend an edge to get +2, which is going to get her to a walk of 14. And she's going to spend an edge to get an extra TMM. So it's going to boost her
Nice.
TMM to 3.
Okay. Now, would something like that change Ace's behavior for the turn?
It may.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that being said, she already has a higher TMM than the Centurion.
It's true.
So if the target is highest TMM, it's not going to do much. With 14,
It's going to get her back here.
that's what I'm thinking. Could you please get her back there and get that 3?
And you want to face forward, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. To the Centurion. If the ideal red is activated, and red would be lowest TMM, and then there's only 1 activated unit and within 18. I think you are within 18. You're going to default. Can you hold that card for me?
I can hold the card.
I'm glad you're here tonight, Scott.
Me too. I like holding cards.
And what? So I just want to say something. So Scott came in tonight, and while I had set up all the new camera angles yesterday, along with Adrian, our tech here, Scott actually came in and adjusted all the color, all the light exposures on it. It's why the picture is 100% better than what we had before. So we'll take a moment here. Thanks, Scott, for helping the studio to where we want it to be with all this cool stuff, right?
You guys are just all so handsome. I just wanted everyone to see, swoon. Everyone on YouTube's swooning right now.
So you're not within 18, so it's going to go to balanced. If there are any enemies within 30, that is correct. That's pretty much the whole board. Zoning in on 18, there's both of you there, so it wants the ideal red, and again, red is the lowest TMM. In this instance, it's going to be because of the +3.
Perfect.
All right. It wants line of sight to at least one activated enemy, so moving this way probably. But it says it wants to move closer to the target, so maybe moving up into here somewhere. And then cover from as many enemies, occupy woods if possible. So
I'm not certain it'll be able to get eyes on one occupied enemy just because of where she's currently positioned.
if I get to here, no, you can't get line of sight. But if you come, technically speaking,
with 8 inches, you're gonna struggle.
I can't get line of sight on her at all. So
No,
I can't. She's too low.
She's too low, and those boxes.
Yeah. It's an excellent move to remain safe.
Thank you.
excellent move.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're not actually programmed. You're
Right, yeah,
You're
I'm
playing
a human
normally,
being.
so every compliment I give you is not going to the Aces deck.
The Aces deck is great. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But
So the Centurion has moved up, taking cover behind the whatever you want to call that landing pad of some sort.
Yeah.
With the Ostel sitting forward, and the Ostel can move now.
Well, the Ostel's aggressive stance this time is if the ideal blue is activated, which it is, and it can move behind it, which it can't, just based on 10 inches, based on what 10 inches is here. So we're going to move to balance. If the ideal blue is activated, yes. It wants to be, it's going to check for 2 ranges. It wants the ideal, or the blue within 12 inches and then 24. Now, I'm pretty sure that you are outside of 12.
Oh yeah.
But the Centurion is not, making this blue.
Yep.
Exactly what I wanted.
Right, which is very
Yeah.
And so it wants
So
to
nimble.
target at least one activated enemy, move closer to it, cover versus the most number of other enemies, and within the least number of enemies line of sight, which means that movement over there is just going to get her safe, and I'm going to move and close on the Centurion. Under the
cover,
it does want cover versus the greatest number of enemies.
probably behind that tree.
This tree over here.
Or directly in front cover right there is partial.
Yep.
But the tree is better because then you don't get partial cover at me.
Yep.
That would be the better
Which
move.
is the route that I'm going to take here.
And just so you know, the golden rule of aces is you always do what's in the best interest of the deck,
Yep.
right? So
yeah, you don't try, because otherwise you're cheating yourself out of the. So we're in medium range,
whereas that move would have met the conditions here,
but not been so smart.
it's not so smart, right? You're going to go
Yeah.
there, no cover, you have cover. It's
Yeah.
going to be a free shot, right?
So let's move to shooting.
Go to shooting.
Okay. Well, Kratos, I don't think has a shot on anything.
Nope.
Which we
Nope.
worked
Yeah.
out.
So
I'm
that
about
goes to me, and I only have one shot. So it wants to.
Kill each other.
It's at
Kill each
medium range, right?
Yeah, medium range.
Good.
Looking
So
for
I have
10s
3 dice.
probably.
Going to be at 5. Yeah, 7, 10. 5, 7, 9, 10. Yes. And that's going to be 3 sets of dice, and that's not going to give me any type of possible OV value. I'll go to the overhead for the roll. On 10s.
Oh no.
No. That's a snake eyes, a 7, and a 9.
Oof.
And I'll fire back with
Yep.
with 9s.
Okay. Oh my
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
It looks bad. That's 1 hit.
It's 1 hit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Still a lot of high
That's
numbers.
A lot of
better
high
than
little
numbers.
boxes.
Lot of high numbers. I'm liking this trio of
Did you
dice
drink
pairs
your
here.
luck
Yes,
juice
those are
today?
the
What's
new
happening?
square
Yeah, that was the
dice.
coffee.
Oh.
And that would be the turn. So
Okay.
we're going to go to initiative.
I ate my fruit. It
Scott,
gave me
who
power.
was D3 Kratos?
I didn't put it. Movement.
Let's see if
Chip
there's
down.
anybody in
And
the
we'll go
chat
up a
here.
turn.
It seems like the setup improves every stream at least a little. That is the goal, but today it was not a little. Today it was enormously.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time this weekend getting the camera angle set up, and then also Scott coming in today and getting all the color and the lighting adjusted.
How come everyone
I've-
talks about the great work Scott does?
What do you got? Because I got a 4.
I got a 3.
Oh, got a 9.
All right, that's healthier.
It's not good. All right, that's me first again. Centurion. If there is an ally, no, we have no allies. If there are any enemies within 30, that is correct, so we stay unbalanced. Within 14, the ideal yellow. The ideal yellow is the lowest TMM. You're both tied, so that's going to go to the highest starting armor, which is the Ostsoul. So the AI is going to keep pertaining to the more dangerous of the two opponents. It wants line of sight to the enemy. Wants to try to get closer to the target while maintaining as much cover as possible. So, moving closer and
Not an easy
cover.
ask.
How are you going to do this?
I am going to go right here.
Wow.
8.
So
All right.
confident. Do you see that?
Partial
You didn't
cover.
even think about it.
Yep.
You just did it.
Boom.
All right.
Home base.
That brings
Do you
it
get a
to
run?
me. If the ideal
You
yellow,
score a run for crossing home base?
Score a hold on home
Sweet.
plate.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
if the ideal yellow, which is the lowest TMM, is activated and I can move within 24 inches, so we are on aggressive. It wants to target the yellow, because it's the only thing that's moved. It wants to get close to the target. No enemies within 12 inches. Presumably no other enemies within 12 inches. And cover versus the most number of enemies occupy woods. It doesn't say anything about getting behind it, so I'm not even going to try and swerve around back here. I may be able to.
It wants cover from me. Can it get behind me?
Well,
that's the best cover.
That's the best move.
all right,
Yeah,
then we will simply go around. This is going to take 2 inches off, and I'll get just over here. So I'm not in the rear arc, but I am in the.
That's correct.
But I am in your blind spot.
That's right. That's the right move.
Okay, and then Kratos, is there, if you peek her, or, yeah, let's go out to the other, if you peek her around the other side of there, is there a medium range shot to the
I
Ostsoul?
think so. Let me get my super cool laser.
Peeking, not so much. You're going to have to move a little bit further out
I think
than
you can
that.
get the Centurion, but I think you can't get
Yeah.
the
You probably have to get up
Ostsoul.
onto this thing.
Yeah, I want the Ostsoul. We need to be stacking damage on that thing, but I want to do it with no chance of getting shot in return. So we're not coming around this way.
That's challenging.
Hand me the laser. I do want to point out, even though it's working against my own interest, if you can get behind that line, you are actually out of
out of his firing.
out of the firing arc.
So she's gonna go
And the other-
just straight out that way. Yep,
And it's got 12 inches to do it, so your Scorpion can manage it.
100%.
So that's
that where
going
you
to be
wanna
firing over the through the bridge.
It is now outside of any firing arc, and
Yep.
it
There's
can
no chance of getting into 6.
That's not true, because the Centurion's firing arc is oriented a little bit differently, and it is able to see the Scorpion.
Can she move any further?
Yeah, to there. Somewhere in that range.
You need to get behind that line.
All right. Well, if that's the extra space she has, then she can do it. Just
Then
poke
there
her
you
around.
go.
Yep, there.
Just things to think about.
I love I have this visual of her scurrying sideways.
Well,
and a
that's the-
scorpion
yeah, that's
and
what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Any
shooting.
Dougram fans? Anyone see Dougram? Just me?
Shooting
All
is
right.
me first, right?
But you don't have a shot.
Yeah.
Are you my back 180?
I'm in your back 180. You have
No.
a-
Yes.
Yeah.
Just barely? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Fire
Alright.
out. Do your thing.
Then
Although,
it's me.
sorry, does that Centurion have rear? See a 9A?
Yeah, he's a 9A. Yeah, he's got rear 1.
There you go.
Take a poke at that also.
Yeah, rear 1.
We were just
one's
talking about
yellow.
the efficacy of rear weapons.
Yellow is lowest TMM. He's actually shooting me also.
Yeah.
I do not fear this. You got to go to the next one down. We have the same TMM.
Joe just uttered famous last words.
Mm.
He's going to be punished for that now. Fate will.
What were my famous?
I do not fear this.
Oh no, I don't fear this.
You don't fear this?
Nope.
We're going to
Wow.
see.
Okay.
You're going to be
Yeah.
punished.
Bring it on.
1 and
Wow.
1.
Okay.
1 and 1.
The Linvander class medium laser built into the back of this
This is
Centurion.
this is a BNC Banshee medium laser.
Let's see.
No.
Oh,
It would have
For
That's
those
terrible.
who can see Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah.
those dice.
No, no,
Look
no,
at-
no.
Take a picture of that.
Wow, 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 wow.
Take a
Dun,
screen
dun,
grab,
dun,
someone.
dun.
Send it to us.
Dun, 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 dun. There it is.
You got to stop rolling those Linvander dice.
Yeah.
This guy needs to
We
stop
gotta see-
laughing.
So
This guy needs to stop laughing.
yeah,
Wow.
well, please make me stop.
And of course,
laughing.
we know this
So-
guy. This guy approves of the die roll. There he is.
When does the punishment start? Because I was promised a lot of punishment, and I didn't see much punishment.
Well, the punishment is for the retail murderer over there.
Well, we'll see. First the Ostol's got to shoot.
Now it's obviously targeting the. Well, it's actually looking for the highest amount of armor lost, which is actually I can only see one target, so there's no reason to even think about this. However, on the shooting side, it does specify when you overheat. The Ostol has an overheat of 1. Now, if the target number is 7 or less, and at the moment it is 6. And the overheat might let the unit hit the target structure. What is your armor?
Oh, I still have
currently?
4 points left.
4 points? So then I will not, because that would only bring me to 4. So we're going to look for 6, because 5 plus the 1. And I whiffed that completely.
close.
I'll re-roll it, and I
Oh,
whiffed the board
so
completely.
close.
Yeah, you don't have to be
Do you want me to hold them? But
There we go. There we go. So I hit. I apologize for that. That is 3 hits.
Oh,
No crits.
we didn't plan this scenario with like hot wrist Joe in mind. That's
Yeah, we were like the
I
law
have
of
1
averages.
armor
No.
left.
yeah.
Although we did talk about dice superstitions in the car, so maybe it had
did.
something to do with that.
Yeah. All right. Kratesen into the Ostol. 4, 5, 6,
Yep, take
7,
Joe's
8.
dice.
Throwing 1 because of the weapon hit. Looking for 8s. Missed.
Missed?
All right.
All right.
All right.
here.
Could you please
Less than
D-token
Yep.
Scorpion?
Yeah, I'm going to keep
Okay.
it over here because
Sure.
your
Yeah.
T-Rex arms
We're
are not
on
going to reach.
round 5, I think. Well, you're on round
We are
5.
on. Yeah, we are on. I believe we're on turn 4 now.
We
just
are
the
turn
odd
5,
thing.
actually.
Turn 5. Okay.
And go to the overhead for initiative. Hey, 10.
11.
10. So we roll off.
These are good dice.
Cocked. How does a 6 grab you?
You're doing
It
great.
beats me.
You're doing great.
It
Don't worry about
beats
it.
you?
Don't worry about it. You got this. You got this. I've
For,
seen
for
you
those
come
of
back
you who
from
saw
worse.
me
You got
reroll,
this.
it was cocked, and we tend to reroll all cocked rolls. Just
Yes,
both
that's
dice.
both.
You're cocked.
That's fine. That's fine.
I would have beaten you if it was cocked.
my automated.
You got
7.
Paul has to
Ish.
start rolling different dice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
The Lindvander dice are not working out for him tonight, which, sorry, Tommy.
Sorry, Tommy.
You're bad luck.
We did everything we could, Tommy.
Okay. I have no allies. Literally, I have no allies.
You are alone.
I hear that about you.
And there's no activated enemies, so nearest, which would be the Ostol.
Make me stop laughing. Paul lunges over the table.
Okay, I want to be able to see the nearest target, which would be the Ostol. I want to occupy woods. I want to try to stay 18 away from the target while I'm doing it and cover from as many units as possible. So I am going to attempt to do I don't know what.
You don't really have the.
I
mobility.
don't want to come this direction.
You want to occupy those 2 trees that are on the map.
Best thing I can do would
Yeah,
be
if you're out here, you're out of the arena.
that's out of the arena. I can't get
Yeah.
off that. So he's gonna have to come here.
That's
really.
yeah.
Are you sure?
Well,
it's a difficult
I know
move,
it's
and
the-
he's going to have trouble getting away.
Yeah.
But getting up behind the tree is going to be tough because he doesn't have the movement for it.
I think that's like. Is there something else you guys see better than that?
Not in a situation like this.
I would I don't know, back to this strut, and then at least you're guarding your hiney. But
Yeah, you know what?
think that-
Yeah, Jesse,
Really?
that's that. Yeah, I think that's better.
I think you're going to
Can
get
you get-
scorpioned in the back.
No, you can't because
No,
I'm
not like the
It
rear
might
back,
be blind
but-
spot, but all right. Well, because these the ideal red is the Centurion and it has moved, I want eyes on it, but I want it wants to distance from the target a bit if it can. It wants to go 12 inches from the target, which is actually a harder sell than you'd think. So it
a
it
small
wants
map.
cover versus the most amount of enemies occupying woods. It's going to go right back to where it was last turn.
right there.
A lot
Right?
of that.
Yeah. So that is a simple move from the Ostol, and I'm going to bump the tree a lot.
Kratesen?
Kratesen, yeah. I mean, Kratesen, like, the smart move is still to try and wear down the Ostol while it's shooting at the Centurion. Is there anywhere she can go to shoot at the Ostol without risking getting shot?
By
Oh,
the
she'll-
Ostol?
Yeah.
She can't have line of sight to the Ostol without being shot at.
Right.
But there's
She can
no
get
risk.
partial cover here. So if she comes half and half.
Yeah, and hope it still wants to hit the Centurion with its lower TMM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
over there, everything's going to block her line of sight, right? But
Yeah,
if she
move her up behind there.
she goes like this, like so.
Yeah.
Slide over a little bit, and then she's a 2.
Okay.
Under the circumstances, you're both gunning for the Ossol, and that'll work out for
The
you.
Centurion's going
It
to
would have worked out better if there was a crab on the field.
So the Centurion,
crab on the field.
yeah, no,
only-
it's my
you-
fault.
Come
I
on,
didn't like
yeah.
him.
Centurion only has 1 shot, so
You're not thinking like a Cappy. You don't take out the enemy of your enemy until they're in a position,
Yeah.
until your bigger enemy is dealt with.
we use
Yeah.
the red
Yeah,
dice.
Paul, stop rolling. Yeah, okay.
All right. Going to be at base 5, medium range 7. You went for 2 is 9. The partial cover is 10. So go to the overhead here for my die roll. 10s. That's wow.
You're going to take those blue and yellow
is wrong
dice.
with
Did you see what I rolled with them?
And
Yeah.
I rolled 4 1s of the blue and yellow dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy's.
I don't
not-
think those dice have not rolled snake eyes
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh,
You're going to take those blue and yellow dice. You are going to throw them outside to Luthor. who
yeah.
can
They're going to be
make a nest
sacrificed to
out of them.
Luthor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you mean to the Easter Bunny?
I
Is that what
appar-
happened? Like,
apparently.
what?
Well, yeah.
I'm going to go back
What's
to the
going
purple
on?
dice for the
There you
Easter
go.
bunny.
Yeah, purple dice.
I'm
Yeah.
using very Easter egg colors.
That's
here,
true.
So maybe that's it.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Which
yeah.
is what's about to happen. So I'm looking
You're gonna
for
get Easter egg.
9s to return fire. It is looking for red on the command list, which is lowest TMM.
Yep.
And we're just going to throw 3 dice looking for 9s because I'm right up against our tree.
In the box. There you go.
3 misses.
Finally.
Wow,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Finally, something that is.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Kratos is the tree in between. Yeah. So throwing 1, looking for 9.
Find it.
Hit.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the proof. There's the 9. Yeah.
Main character action.
Yep.
She's wearing them down.
Yeah. All right. And that we go to turn 6.
Yeah.
Which are we going to do the Aces style of finishing on turn 7?
No. We'll finish the game. We'll have to reshuffle the decks.
Okay.
So like I'm gonna win initiative here. For the Easter
You gotta
bunny, I'm gonna
stay-
go light
yeah.
purple and dark purple. And of course, I rolled an 11, but it was one outside the.
You got a 4.
Oh,
What did you get?
I got a 5.
I got an 8.
Ooh.
It's unbelievable. It's
Is that a
unbelievable.
tier? Is that a tier?
It's a tier. All right, what's my Centurion want to do here? No one's activated. No one's activated. So nearest, which would be the Scorpion, wants line of sight to target cover from as many enemies while moving away and occupying woods. So I'm thinking.
This is where the new camera angles are going to really come in handy because we're probably going to end up playing in
thinking-
and around the highway.
As you can see here, I'm actually going to move under the
Or the rail. I guess
the
it
rail.
is.
I'm technically moving away, farther away, because I'm going to be 7 there, and I'm already at 6.
Yep.
Right. So
Whoa.
Wow.
like
Yep.
so, right,
Dramatic.
and that's
Can you
the
see that?
the
Oh,
Aces
look at
deck,
him.
and I'll go over to
Look at him
here.
just peeking
You
out.
can't quite see him there under that. I'll go to the other side. There he is under there. You can see that angle there. Boom, boom.
Cool. All right. With 12, can the Scorpion get...
Just making a quick note about something.
just back in there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and take advantage of her low height. That should be enough stuff in the way to frustrate the Centurion, but also make it, I think, tuck it in a little more.
You won't be able to shoot at me though.
Yep. I don't think shooting is happening this turn
Just
for her.
playing the waiting game.
Capellan, she snuck in,
Wow.
did a little bit of damage, snuck back out.
She's fighting her Capellan nature, which I think is in character here, but sometimes it wins out.
Yeah.
All right, and for me, we're back to my if any unit has if the unit has armor greater than any enemy's maximum damage rating. Now I do believe at the moment, because I have 3 armor and the Centurion is throwing 3 dice, I move to balanced.
Yes.
If the ideal red is activated and can move within 6 inches of it, which it can't because I can't get within 6 inches of anybody, we're going to stay on cautious. At least it wants to eyes on at least one activated enemy, jump if possible, which it can't, in the least number of enemies line of sight, closer to target, cover versus the most number of enemies. So it just wants to zero in on a target. It doesn't actually specify which target in this instance. So, I suppose it's a judgment call on strategic value.
In which case, the Scorpion is going to be much easier to destroy. It knows.
No, I only have 1 armor left.
I don't know if you
Right,
can
but the Scorpion's only
get to the
tossing 1
Scorpion.
damage and also only has 1 armor.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So what it's going to do instead is it wants it does want to close distance to target. So it wants the least number of enemies in line of sight. It's going to move here, putting this lovely strut in or a barrier in the way, and just
love a good strut.
Yeah, and it says cover versus the most number of enemies. I do not believe it's close enough to the strut to get cover here.
No.
So we're just going to have open shots against the against the
makes sense.
Centurion.
Shots.
I forgot about that song
You're
until
welcome.
and now it's going to be
You're
stuck in
welcome,
my
everyone
brain.
at home.
I only have 1 unit. My TN is 5, but that doesn't matter. So that's the only thing I'm checking.
Ooh.
It's going to be what's our range? Are you at
We're at
6 or
medium.
7?
We're at medium.
Okay, so I get 3 dice instead of 2. It's good.
6 inches is like here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 5, 7, 9. You got no partial, right? 9s.
Yeah, we're nining at each other.
Paul. What?
What
Paul.
are you doing, Paul?
We're
What do you-
not nining
what-
at each other.
You know, I hit on the first turn, and then it's
Yeah.
been shut out since. I got an 8. That was about the best I've rolled there.
Yeah, you got
Like-
an 8. Good job. Yeah.
Yay.
The Solaris
I
crowd.
get a ribbon!
Yeah.
The Solaris crowd is starting to just be like, what are we
Yeah.
watching?
Who is this
Just having a
Centurion
sandwich.
pilot?
To be honest with you, if this was actually playing out, it would be a very exciting match because it's
Yeah.
they don't know who's going to win. People are moving
excited.
around, taking pot shots.
I'm
On the
invested.
table, it's
No,
very.
it would not be very exciting because people would think it's wrestling. You're
Yeah.
watching these 2
Ah.
mechs going around swinging these big telegraph
the,
haymakers.
the irony that the Centurion actually looks like an Imperial Stormtrooper.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking for 8s here, and you may want to bring the top use if people don't know that, or people know that I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
Looking for 8s because it's 5 plus medium range for 2 and plus the TMM of 1. That would be 1 hit.
So I took out my
Looks
armor.
bad, 1 hit.
Took out my armor.
And Kratos has no shots.
Right.
No shot,
And
shot,
we
shot,
will
shot, shot,
move
shots.
To turn 7.
Turn 7, and we have to
Lucky,
shuffle our
lucky
cards
turn
because
7.
we only have 6 cards in the deck.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know there was only 6 cards.
No, I
in
knew there were
there?
only 6 cards. I didn't realize that shuffling was the etiquette when you reach this
shuffle.
point.
Yeah, well, make it so that like somebody who's skilled enough to count cards could also predict the next move if they've
Yeah.
already seen the whole
But
thing.
then they're still cheating themselves out of the strategy of aces.
Sure.
Yay! I roll a 10.
All
Somebody else is
right.
going to roll a 10.
While we're
And
talking
I roll an
about
11.
shuffling,
No, I rolled a 6.
you could use like 1 deck
Boxcars.
to run.
All right.
I wish that was on folks at home. That really needed to be an attack roll, not an initiative roll. But okay, Kratos in 1 initiative.
So we're moving
Amazing.
straight to cautious because everything else cares about activated enemies. If sprint, if there are no enemies within 36, which nonsense, there is no such thing as outside of 36 here. If eyes on a target, 10 inches away from a target, cover versus the most number of enemies. Sounds pretty simple. I am moving over to here. This gets me out of line of sight of the Centurion if it decides to come around. But it does... but I do see the Scorpion.
Mhm.
So we'll move there, and we'll put my back as, difficult to get behind me as possible. And we'll call that the move.
Centurion.
The move.
If the ideal red is activated and within 10, so normally if there was anything activated within 10, it would default to red. There is nothing there, so we're going to go to balanced. If the ideal red is activated, and red would be lowest TMM,
Shout out to the ideal
which
red.
is no,
Okay.
and then the highest point
Protect.
value, which is yes. So you are activated. So I'm going to remain unbalanced. Within 14, which I believe you are. Let's just double check.
So you have auto zoom going on. Can you zoom onto that mech on the fly? Our setup is not quite that advanced yet.
If I had a button to push it to do that, I would definitely do it. But yeah, that's
Paul loves pushing buttons.
not something I can do. I like pushing people's buttons.
It can
that's
auto
for sure.
focus if we bring something up to the camera. We don't have an auto zoom on the mech. yet.
Auto zoom, yeah. All right, so it wants moving. Wants line of sight to the Ossel. Moving closer with no unactivated enemies within 12. So it wants to
Easy.
keep maintain a distance from there. Wants cover and occupy woods.
So the strut for cover, I think.
Well, this is cover. This
Yeah,
right here will
that's
be
cover.
cover.
Oh, yeah.
So you can basically freely move to like here.
Yeah, which is literally.
Can you get behind me? Because
No.
my firing arc's a little bit funny.
Oh yeah, maybe I can. Actually.
Maybe.
Funny.
That is where you're trying to get. But with all the different
I can get there. No, I
No.
can't. I can't
All
quite
right.
get there. Yeah.
Then that's still good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Kratos moving on 12. If
You may be able to do it.
that's what I'm thinking. Scott, could you please reach over and
I can.
bend my tip, Scott? And
No.
I ruined it. That was my one chance. Yeah, that gets her here. That gets her out of the Ossol's firing arc.
All right. And that's into short, which is great for you.
And you can see
Not so
there
good
in the
for
back,
me.
on the back side. There it is.
All right.
Also shoot.
All right. Well, it's a pretty. We don't even need to look at the targeting parameters.
Well, you're
because
going to
we
get
know-
6 hits anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to make it 7. So we're looking for 5 with partial cover and medium range. That brings it up to 9s due to TMM 1. So looking for 9s. How about through armor critical and that's it.
So you
one
get,
hit,
you get 2 crit
and
chances.
I get 2 crit checks.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're going to see what those are. That is a 5, which is no crit, and a 7, which is motive.
Yeah.
The Centurion is falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shot in the hip.
This is it, Kratos. This is when you need to roll extremely well.
Yeah, so
It-
you actually win this, so this is the time when you need
We
to
hope.
start rolling some.
Yeah, we need
I am shooting at who here? Anything within 6?
Nope.
Nope. Within 24 in the back? No. And then red. It's only got line of sight to Kratos's far enough back, so shooting the Ossel. It's going to be at 5, 7,
10.
9, 10s. 10
Don't
partial
use
cover,
any blue
right?
dice.
on 3
Don't use any
dice.
yellow dice.
I'm using red, orange, and
Blue is a type, or purple is a
black.
type of blue, so
Red, orange, and black.
yeah.
Okay.
No.
I rolled consecutive turns, 2 pairs of snake eyes.
The dice said
That's
no.
2 pairs?
That's 2 pairs of.
Oh.
How is that possible?
Watching wonder as Paul Focht Clarkson becomes the world's unluckiest man.
Yeah.
This is just mind bending.
If we were playing a game called Snake Eyes,
Yeah.
you'd be doing really well.
They're gonna. I'm just gonna leave my
Yeah.
my collection of ones.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say-
anytime a dice, anytime a dice pair snake eyes, exile.
my collection of ones
Yeah.
is gonna over
Don't
there.
worry, Paul. We got a lot of dice
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, we got
All
lots
right,
of dice.
Grayson, what do you got?
All right. She's looking for 6s.
I keep sitting out of frame. I'm gonna pull a little closer to you.
Yeah.
It's not rear arc, unfortunately, but looking for 6s.
One time.
I love boxcars.
Mm.
Oh, okay. It's a hit.
All right.
Another hit.
Soul is on 2 armor left, 3 structure.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's the end of the turn.
All right. We move to turn 8.
We'll flip this over.
Yeah. Oh, does it go further?
look at that.
Look at that.
It
Mine
goes
doesn't do
further. We should hide the dice rolls so I don't roll 1s anymore.
Why? No. Just because I'm dead?
See,
You
I don't show the dice roll.
that. What'd you roll?
I roll the 10.
Well, I rolled a 9.
3.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. Kratos back into cover.
So we're putting Jesse back on cautious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, that also moves, doesn't it? It's 10?
It's 10. The Ost series are wonderful. Now, it's not an Ost Rock. I have gone on record saying that my favorite mech in the Mechnificent 7 is the Ost Rock by not a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
The Ost Soul's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people would say it was better. I disagree. But they're probably right.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't get behind her that way. There you go.
All right.
But we're expecting fire.
All right. If the ideal red... Now, the ideal red is lowest TMM, so no. If there are any activated enemies in 24 inches, there are.
No, hold on. So walk that back. If the ideal red is activated,
Which it is not.
no, hold on. Is there a zone on it within certain range?
Does
it say?
And the unit can move within 12 inches of it.
So okay, there's no zone on it. So then,
Yeah.
then it'll go. If there was a zone, this is within 12 and it defaults to the red.
there's one
yeah.
after the fulfillment of behavior, but not
yeah.
immediately. So, but there are activated enemies within 24, so we're going to move to balanced. It wants red, not the ideal red, but red, so still the Centurion. It wants it within 20. It's checking for a red within 24, so this it's not doesn't need to be activated. But it wants eyes on at least one activated enemy. Keep current distance from the target, and cover versus the target.
Back to behind those trees right there.
Possibly. It actually, ideal cover would be behind. You yourself said it. So this is an activated target.
Yep.
I'm going to go here.
Yep.
Wow.
And I'm bumping terrain, and I apologize for that.
And the Centurion. If there are no activated enemies within 20, that is not true. Cautious. Line of sight to target, which would be the nearest, so that would be Credison. Occupy woods, remaining 18 away, and cover from everybody else. So, I can't.
Paul runs out of dice. Ossol is better. Beskar, listen, the Ossol is a better mech. I agree with you, but I love the Ostrog, and I will pick one over an Ossol every single time. But I acknowledge that it's the better mech.
Cover, completely out of line of sight from the Ossol, and I can see.
Oh, it might be
Credison.
over. It might be over.
I can
It's
see
not how it's
Credison.
supposed to go.
It is how it's supposed to go. This, and I said that this is the hammer of justice coming down.
Wow.
Plot armor.
All right. Well,
Plot armor. There's the shot.
There's the
yeah, and I
shot.
don't, and because
Lined
of
up.
the height, I don't think Credison can shoot back.
Oh well, it's two-way.
No, you're fine. It's
Yeah,
two-way,
Alpha Strike's two-way.
Even though she's shorter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's true line of sight, right? You can see
Then
him.
she
But you
will.
both get partial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she will almost.
No, she gets no partial. She's not 2/3 covered
Oh, wow.
from me, from where I went
Yeah.
to. Yeah. If I was over here, yes, but
this-
here, no.
So 4, 5, 6, 7 on the Centurion.
I'm loving these camera angles. I'm loving these camera angles.
Really dramatic way to show
Yeah.
off the shot.
No.
That's an 11.
That's a hit.
So that's a hit.
One damage, roll critical.
Checking for crit.
Oh.
6.
Weapon hit.
That'll help.
Got no more long range capacity.
You weren't using it anyway.
And I believe the Centurion won initiative, so it moves to me.
Yep.
Rear. I'm in rear.
Yep.
You're shooting the Scorpion. The target number is at the
Well, you're behind it, but I don't think you
Yeah.
have.
You're not in the rear arc.
Yeah.
You don't get the
Not
rear
quite.
damage.
Oh, rear count. Yes, rear means this.
Yeah.
Well, attacked by an ally this turn. There is no ally. Red on the command list. Now I can't. Well, I can't see the Centurion anyway, so this is kind of.
Oh, you can't see the Centurion.
Yeah,
you're
it's kind of
wasting
a
our
moot-
time.
Yeah.
You can see how it's not in the rear attack arc from that angle. It's too far over.
Yeah.
So there is no. There's no overheat condition. So I'm just throwing 3 dice into the Scorpion. Look for 7s. 5 plus your TMM.
Yep.
And I hit with nothing.
Wow.
Oh.
The dice have turned.
6, 6,
That
and
short
snake eyes.
little dining room table of a mech.
Yeah.
This is my last turn of firing with 3 dice. So
eat
we're
on
gonna
your
go.
ottoman?
Yeah.
I'm using all the greens.
Yeah, use all
against
greens.
the Capellan.
All right.
Gonna be at 5. Medium range is 7. You went for 2 is 9s. 9s. We'll go to this and see how many more 1s I roll.
There you go.
No, I hit
That looks
once. I hit twice. I hit twice.
Yeah, okay, roll for
10
crit.
and 9.
Ooh, we're in critting now,
Yeah,
aren't we?
we're in structure.
Critical is a 7.
Oh, that's motive.
Yep.
Yikes.
That's your turn, Paul.
That's my
And
turn.
that's your TMM too.
Yep.
All right. All right, turn 9. Hopefully we're closing out soon. He says with like the way a shark.
We're not
would after
showing the
tasting
dice roll
blood.
again until after it's been done. After
It's bad luck to
it's
have it on
bad luck,
camera.
I'm going to roll the
Yeah.
black dice.
Oh, didn't the Centurion take a motive hit?
Yeah, I'm only moving 4.
All right.
Yeah.
See? I got a 9.
Better.
Oh, cocked.
I got snake eyes.
Oh, wow.
9. 10.
10.
He wants it. He wants it. Oh.
8.
And I've retired the black dice. With
Oh,
the
no.
Snake eyes again. They have been retired.
So we're keeping
7?
We're keeping
7
this
snake
one
eyes?
simple.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of dice have rolled
5.
snake eyes for me.
Most of the time,
Wow.
when skirmisher decks lose initiative, they go straight into cautious, which is what we're going to do. So I want to move cover versus the most number of enemies, 12 inches away from a target and occupying woods. Can I move back here to the woods? No. But what I can do is move back to where I was, which actually affords me a fair amount of cover. I'll move around here and go like that. And because there are enemies that are very slow, I'm actually not worried about being flanked any longer. And I will take
I don't even
this.
have TMM anymore.
No, you don't. He said smugly.
Yeah.
If the nearest
am a sword
enemy
winner.
is activated and in 12, that is correct. That would be the Ostsel. I am going to be aggressive moving at 4.
It's time.
Once line of sight to the nearest activated, wants to get behind target, can do so. Once non-activated is within 12, that'll happen as well if I get to there, which is good. Cover and moving closer to target, yeah.
But with
That's,
4 inches, can he actually make it to line of sight? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, he can move to line of sight, but I don't. Is
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right here.
that line of sight?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, again, clearly, like, literally, his medium laser is pointing over the way.
All right, we'll take it.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
It's real now.
It's real now. You can't quite see him there. He's blocked from that shot, but
Yeah.
there you can see him.
Kratos is
Looking at the
hidden
option.
from everything right now, right?
Yeah, you should
At the
probably
moment.
you should probably hide for the turn while I kill the Ostsel.
Yeah, I think that's what she's doing. Nothing can see her right now. She's just parked.
Yep.
All right.
She's gets out of the scorpion. apple, stretch.
The unfortunate part of that whole thing is I am within 6, so it means I only get to do 1 set of dice. So we'll go with the baby blues. These will probably roll snake eyes for me again. We'll go to this.
Turn the camera off.
I'm gonna be at I'm gonna be at 5, 6 for partial cover, and then 2 for you is 8s.
Turn the camera on. You have it.
Oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. This is
All right, new goal.
this is
All run out of dice.
this is epic. Yeah, we got. I got a whole bunch of dice here. We will
However,
we
points
will
of,
do well tonight.
I got a small point of order. I lost initiative. I should be firing first, and I do have a rear shot.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna go with
Mind bending.
5, cover 6, and we're at short range, so 6s, or is it 7s for rear?
I laughed so hard. I feel like I have to throw up.
Just miss.
Oh.
How about no? It doesn't matter. So you
Oh.
take 1 from the rear fire.
Roll critical.
7. So another motive hit.
Wow.
Down to moving 2.
You didn't want to move at all, did you?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Initiative.
Initiative.
Turn 10.
Yeah, I think like Solaris is gonna like ring the bell soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we make it to turn 14, anyway, that's a
Now,
6.
let's wrap
Let's
up.
go.
round
Let's go.
10.
Let's go.
All
Let's
right.
go to the light blue dice.
Yeah, maybe those will be better.
Yeah.
8.
All right.
6.
All right, we roll off. You and I roll off for 3.
3.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Fight.
Boxcars.
Not boxcars.
I need those boxcars on weapon attacks.
All right, so we're back to. Oop, this is the wrong card. We are back to. Well, we're back to cautious.
Hey, thanks, Kara Mindy. Paul, you'd think you were fighting the combine. You put in $2 to celebrate all the 2s you've been rolling.
Just in case everybody was wondering.
I am wondering.
So it's declaring a target of the nearest activated enemy, which I don't have at cautious.
That's my pile of snake eyes.
We're not done yet.
Continue to grow. We're not done yet.
Keep some room.
It's telling me to occupy woods, so that's going to be really simple. I'm just going to go here. With nothing. Thank you.
I want initiative.
Thank you, Scott. One initiative. Yep.
Moving two. I'm going to be getting behind everybody.
Yep.
What are you doing, Kratos?
Oh, look out.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, Kratos will continue to not get shot by this Ossol and hope that you do something about it.
Oh, but you're slow now, right?
Yeah.
6 inches, which is
Not a very.
That's still normal assault mech movement compared to urban mech movement that's happening over by the Centurion.
Yeah, well, the Centurion clearly is going to be the target. So you know what? She's going to peek out.
Unless it runs off.
Is that still protecting her from the Centurion?
No, I can see through that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang.
Oh, so from my angle, but not from the camera's angle, I couldn't tell that these were solid, or that these weren't solid.
Right.
Yep.
But
Okay,
with our new angles, now you guys can.
Then she'll peek out
Thank you, new angles.
here.
All right.
So that makes my choice fairly simple at my movement range. Aggressive can't do because there's no allies. If there are any enemies within 30, yes, that's everybody, wants line of sight to at least one activated unit. So I only move 2. I have to move closer to the target, but I want cover from as many people. So
Okay, Paul. Well, I have your
1,
measuring
2.
tape ready.
Right there. There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the move. There's the move. Cover. Moving closer.
No TMM though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just flip it over. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Wow.
Flip it over.
Look
Yep.
at that.
That being said, we're in shooting now, I believe.
We are.
We are.
That's actually saving the Centurion's life because the
It wants higher TMM.
it wants the blue, which is the higher TMM of the two. So one is higher than nothing. So we're gonna throw 3 dice at the Scorpion, which is 5, 6, 7, 8. Looking for 8s on TMM 1.
Okay.
That is 2 hits.
Youch. Crit.
All right, rolling a crit. The crit is no crit.
Okay.
Ha.
That's up to you, Kratos.
Yeah, well, let's see if she lands a hit. 4, 5, 6, 7 because of tree. Nope, nothing.
That's a miss. We're not going to show my dice rolls because they're so terrible. I am.
But if
at
you see me burst into tears and then turn to the side,
am I
and throw up,
7 or 6 away?
let's find out.
Hopefully, I'm 7.
Oh yeah, you're more than 7.
Okay, so I get 2 dice.
Yep.
Gonna be at base 5, range 7. You went for a 2 is 9s.
Yeah, cover. I mean, you've got cover. Cover's 2 ways. So.
Yeah, you don't have cover though. You're too far away from.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
We're doing like that. Okay.
Well, if I'm looking at you, I can see
Yeah.
more than 2/3 of you. Right?
Okay.
So this will be what is it? 9s.
Nines.
One
I see
hit.
1.
I see
Yeah.
one.
All right.
Okay.
The light purple dice hit.
All right.
No crit.
So
no
nothing fancy.
structure,
No, I'm still in
no-
armor.
No.
Wow.
All right. Well, as it is, that's the end of round 10. And it's getting late. So I think, like like boxing, all these good sports, they ring the bell at some point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These
Ding, ding.
idiots have been stumbling around, not
Yeah.
quite hitting each other for a while. I think officially the Ossol is in the best shape. However, Kratos nailed that amazing critical shot that disintegrated a crab. And in terms of the Solaris scoring system,
The Centurion is currently sitting at movement 2, 1 internal structure.
You know what you should do is you should show off the focus ability of our new camera.
I think that
yeah.
focus might be off.
Might be
actually.
off.
No,
Okay.
go, we'll go for it. Let's go.
Well, give
Try
it a shot.
it, but
Give it a
it-
shot.
There you go. You can see.
Oh.
There it is.
That is a
Yeah, the
that is
autofocus
a
is off,
scuffed up
but-
card, but yeah, there we are.
Boom.
That's a lot of
The
dark
Centurion took a beating.
dark marks there.
Yeah, Centurion didn't win. It comes down to the Ossol or pilot and Kratos nailed that amazing crit. That's what is going to draw Lin Six and Wiley and Dr. Checkers' attention.
Yep.
It would be it would be the kind of thing where if you were watching a Solaris Gladiator go up outgunned in a Scorpion against an Ossol and survive and do well against it
After disintegrating a crab.
after disintegrating a crab, that is
Yeah, we
enough
have
to get
talk
someone's
about that
attention.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Yes,
Bring
definitely.
that up again. We have to. Yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight and joining us. Next week, Episode 5 of The Mechnificent 7 will premiere at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Before then, this guy across from us here, as you can see scrolling along the screen at the bottom, will be hosting weekly Wednesday Armored Combat at Harry Tarantula. On Monday night, Joe and Henny and Goose will all be up at Sir Games-A-Lot in Barrie hosting Mercenary Mondays. Scott will just be at home loitering, and I'll be doing pretty much the
For
same.
the record, Scott and our friend Austin are both huge. Weekly Wednesday Armored Combat is a group effort, and they're both huge parts of that.
That's true.
That's more what I loiter.
That's where you're loitering.
loitering, putting in
Like-
a lot of time running and playing
Like
games up at
he did tonight. He showed up, got killed in the first turn, and just loitered in the studio for the
basically,
remainder
That
of
was
the day.
part of the reason I figured we wanted to end it earlier, just for your sake. You looked like you were.
Yeah. It was,
You were looking pretty. I just didn't want you to.
Aw,
I just didn't want you to be bored.
So, like and
Never.
subscribe if you want to see this gentleman back again next week and in future episodes. Say yes, yes, yes. We will see you all again next Sunday after the Magnificent 7, and we will be doing... I haven't determined yet whose tourney fight, but till then, have a good night. Thank you.
We're going to call Paul Snake Eyes from now on.
Yeah.